Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Shout Out to Tuesdays. Shout Out to Tuesdays. Hey. Okay, sorry. It's a whole vibe. Y'all know sometimes I just get a little bit excited, just a smidge. But thank you for tuning in on this beautiful Tuesday. And you can see I have the one, the only. Valerie. I like you like the accent. I'm trying to be a little fancy, a little fancy with it. And of course, she's with OU Stevenson Cancer Center, the only national cancer institute in the great state of Oklahoma. I'm always going to say that because hey, we need to make sure that you understand you have an excellent resource right here in your state, and you should definitely support. So thank you for tuning in to Strategy Tuesdays. I don't know if my other friend's gonna join it or not, because I'm not gonna put him on blast. But we have just a few things that we want to bring to your attention. If you may notice, I have a list of beautiful authors behind me. Because starting on February 22nd, let me make sure these things is I'm feeling like it's live, but I don't see it on live. Okay. Starting on February 22nd, we are kicking it off at the meet and greet. Oh, trying to put my stuff out there. Meet and greet um, for Black Children's Book Week. And so we want you to come out and support all throughout Monday through Fridays. We're going to have meet the authors at different locations. Thank you, Unicorn and Pegasus Bookstore, and also Commonplace Bookstore, and OKC Black Chamber of Commerce for hosting our wonderful authors that are behind us. And so they are coming Monday through Friday for them to come and support. Bring your children, family, friends, anybody that loves to read and just want to connect with some new authors and exciting books. We want to see you in the place. And then on Saturday, you need to be at the Book Fair Expo. I don't think there's any other expo like this. I mean, I know that we have that, what do you call it? Friends, Friends of the Library thing on that weekend where you buy books from the fair.
And then you're able
Yes, and you buy books. But here you have all different types of authors. And it's free. Yeah, we're gonna have the authors here. We're gonna have a food truck from Buddy Bites. So if you're a little hungry, we got some little bites for you to eat. So we have free books, everything. Oh, listen, so yeah, come out and support if you can. Now I know that it may be a little noisy because you're probably like, why are you not at your house? But I am at John Marshall High School, and so we are providing some popcorn and refreshments for the students and their parents because they're doing what do you call it?
teacher conferences.
Parent teacher conferences. Yes, I was about to say parent appreciation, but parent teacher conferences. And so we're just asking for them to make a donation, and we're still taking donations for the Marshall Foundation. So without further ado, this is the third Tuesday of February. And so that's always focused on cancer care series. And so that's why that's not the only reason why, but she's with me, so she might as well come on the show. But anyways, so we're going to talk about this study that is here. And she's going to give us some information on that. So yes.
All right. Hey, everyone. I know you guys may know me already. My name is Valerie Moyes with OU Health Stevenson Cancer Center, Community Outreach Liaison. And so, again, that just means I am here at your disposal. I help to bring cancer screening, education, and research to the community and all of the feedback and stuff that you guys have back to me. But we have an amazing new study that's been coming out. Well, it's been in the works forever since
Ever?
yeah, like 4 years, 5
Oh,
years.
okay.
Forever for me.
That feels forever.
For me it does, But it's called the Vanguard study. It's to study something that is new and emerging in cancer screening. A lot of clinical trials, and when you hear that, you kind of think of trials for cancer therapeutics or cancer drugs or things that you might have. But here we have a cancer prevention clinical trial. And so we are testing something called a multi-cancer detection test. And so this is a test that can test multiple cancers at once, it's kind of in the name, through one blood draw or multiple. It's kind of multiple tubes of blood. But we can test multiple cancers all at once. And so this can be the future of cancer screening or supplemental for those cancer screenings that we can't really screen for. And so things like liver and pancreatic cancer, certain other that we just can't really get to, it'll show for those cancers. And so this is really, really great cutting edge research. And I'm here to tell you guys about it. So here's our little flyer that we have here. Wow, you're right. It really does touch. So you can hear it. So we have a few of the requirements here on the side. You have to be between the ages of 45 and 75 years old, have not been diagnosed with cancer in the past 5 years, and you have to give 2 blood samples and complete some surveys.
Now, what age again?
45 to 75. And so we do that.
45 to 75.
Yeah, we do that because that is the general cancer screening age. And so one of the bigger things with cancer screening that you have to be within that screening age and not have or exhibit any symptoms. And so that's why we have not have been diagnosed with cancer in the past 5 years. Because if you've been diagnosed, those cell and DNA will be floating through your blood anyways, and it'll be picked up by the cancer detection, and it can skew off some of those results. And it's only 2 blood draws and a survey.
Yeah.
And so, and we also pay you. And so it's not
Wait. Did you say they pay you?
Yep, $75 to participate in the study.
Yeah.
And so this is
That's
really
nice.
great because it's your time and energy that's coming
Right.
there, and you are at the front end of cutting research. And so you'll get $25 or $20 gift card for your first one to come and complete that survey. 1 year mark, you'll get another blood draw, you get $25. And then 2 years, we'll have a survey that sends out no blood, and that you'll get a $30 gift card.
So I have a question. As you said 2 years, so if you're 75, do you have to be like, because if it's 2 years, pretty soon I'm gonna be, you know, a little older. So does that mean I need to actually start when I'm 73?
Well, yeah, I mean, you probably should.
I mean, if I'm,
I think
I don't know if they're gonna keep you on.
no, they'll follow you all the way through. And
Okay.
actually the test will, so we'll first start with the initial blood draws within this age range, but we'll follow you actually for 10 years. And so, yeah,
Oh, okay.
a lot of these tests will say things like they can detect testing years before symptoms arise. Let's take colorectal cancer for instance. The reason why we might see, people who have worse symptoms or kind of if they don't screen for 10, 15 years, or why you see like colonoscopies every 5 years, because it grows pretty slowly, kind of like cervical
Right.
cancer as well too, right? And so we want to see if it says it's detecting it super early, that means it'll detect it way before those polyps start, way before you'll have, cervical symptoms and discolorations and those kind of kaleidoscope issues that pop up. And so this cancer screening is something really, really good. And not only do you get tested, so let me just tell you about the timeline, right? So you get tested on first. You're going to be with me. I'm a consenting person, so you might just be consented with me in clinic. I'll go over the whole consent form with you, what that entails, what your risk, your benefits, everything that goes along with that. And we'll talk about the timeline. You'll have that initial one. You'll get your blood draw. You'll be assigned into one of 3 different groups. And so one group will test a set of different cancers. Second group will test all the same for the first, but one of them. And the third group will be a control. And then within there, you have an option to participate in optional studies. And so that'll be within, let's say later on in life, they find that there's a specific cancer that they're seeing a lot of, or they're seeing, is there a certain population of people that might be more predisposed? They can use that extra part of the blood because the tests only take about like 2.5. So there's a little bit left in one of the vials left over. They'll take that, store it, and later on, if they want to use that to maybe study as to why the origins are, what's going on, is there a genetic component or anything, they'll be able to use that. That's optional. You can opt in or out of it, but if you want the full scope and you're already given the blood, you might as well give the full scope for the study. And so they'll be able to see whether or not that specific population had something. That's optional.
Okay.
And then you'll get the survey within a month. You'll get all of the results within a month. And if you test positive for any of the cancer screenings, we'll also pay for the diagnostic testing. And so, wow, as someone, who've been in this field, you know what that is like. So once you get screening, usually what people drop off is that diagnostic test because it costs money. And usually if you don't have insurance or if you don't have something, that's usually out of pocket pay, or you have to pay for the diagnostic testing. So let's say if you have a deductible $5,000, you might have to reach that 5,000 before you're able, insurance will cover everything. Well, diagnostic testings could be $200, $300, depending on what it is. If it's a biopsy, if you have to go under, they need to do anything like that. Sometimes that can cost a lot of money. And so if you're someone within the screening aid range and you kind of want to have that stuff covered on participate in this study. And so we also
I think that's a perk. That's yes.
I mean, if I could take it out, if I was between the age range, I'd be here.
Right.
And so it's really great for us to really start off and get this going. And we are one of the only accrual sites in the country. And so not everybody's going to have the opportunity to participate in this. And by the time that you do, it'll be years and years ahead. So this is only phase one of a study that we're thinking will last about 30 to 40 years.
Okay.
And so, yeah, for
30 or 40 years.
exactly. I mean, we're tracking for 10.
Right.
Then afterwards, we want to find out of those people who screened, right?
Mhm.
In the beginning, in the initial, if they develop cancer in 10 years, and did we detect that cancer?
Right.
Or did we not?
Early. Right.
And if that cancer is one that lives in the body or started, is really slow progressing and it didn't detect it,
Right.
there's something up.
There's
Maybe we
something.
need to change the screening. And so,
So
I gotta do this
I
on
have
this popcorn.
I have so many questions. Well, we can give you a back. Excuse us while we make this introduction.
Oh, yes, right, good job.
No, you know, we can give you a bag of poppers and just ask you to make a donation to this, and it goes to the Marshall Foundation. So if you don't have cash, or you can do Cash App, PayPal, Venmo.
I go get my phone. I got,
Yes, yes, you sure can. We will.
I'm trying to run off with y'all.
No, you're fine. And I blue paper towel too if you
Okay.
need one. Yeah.
You say,
No, thank you. So my question was, well, I'm trying to remember now. Hold on. Oh, about the if they detect cancer. So if your results come back and you detect cancer, well, what does that do in regards to that study? Do I automatically go and get, I want to say treated, but it's an early diagnosis part. Do I start to
Mhm.
figure out what's
So,
going on?
Yeah, that's what we call, so we come to the diagnostic part.
Okay.
And so we'll do things either like a biopsy, an endoscopy, a CT scan with
Okay.
contrast. We'll do an MRI, whatever is necessary to detect and see where that is.
Okay.
Of course, there's risk with, origin of cancers and where that comes into play. But that's exactly what we're testing. We want to make sure that the test can detect where the cancer is coming from and if it's the right one.
If it's all right. Okay. And I think that's really important because early detection is the key.
It's the key.
That's what a lot of people are not understanding because they feel like, well, I don't want to know. I'm just going to wait out, or I refuse to do the screenings, or even just go and get tested, or even do for ladies mammograms or ultrasounds or whatever that we have. But I really prefer that if you would just go early, then the percentage of them catching things early is at a greater number. Right?
Yeah, it not only, okay, so one, it'll save you from death. That's what we're trying to say. I've said this in your podcast before. You'll
Yeah.
find out one way or another.
Right. One way or another.
One way or
So you better find out early.
And you want to have the best chance of fighting it.
Mm.
So the best chance of fighting it and the best outcomes are going to be earlier on.
Right.
It'll also be the cheapest. Getting a biopsy or getting a surgically removed is a lot easier and a lot less money than it is going through treatments after treatments after treatments.
Right. That makes sense.
And so oftentimes that's the first thing that we're trying to do. And so with cancer screening, especially for those cancers that we might not have, that we don't have a screening for, like liver, pancreatic, kidney, anything like that, we don't have a screening for it. And so the only way you would find out is by doing something like this. Otherwise, you'd have to wait until you have symptoms, and then you might have to be in your doctor's office and just complaining every 2 seconds. It's like something's wrong.
Right. Something doesn't sound. Something doesn't feel right. How do I turn that off? I don't know. Because we got a lot of things going on. So I do want to take a moment to, I don't know, slide that way over there. Slide it over there to my friend. Just put it over there. So we have a lot of things that's going on, but I want to, because we're not trying to be on here very long. And plus we got to wrap up from being in the school. But I think that one of her forms says cancer screening save lives, and it really does. Yes, it saves lives. You have to take the proactive approach. I know that we get afraid. I know we have a lot of things that's going on to where we don't feel comfortable, and sometimes we feel alone when we get that diagnosis. But like I was telling someone that was asking me the other day when I was doing uh, a testing study, I said when people hear the word cancer, they automatically associate it with death,
Mhm.
and that's where we have to change that mindset. Let me go and see what is going on with my health, with my body, so that way I can be able to survive for my children, for my husband, for my wife, for whomever, and be able to live a little bit longer. Not to mention, some cancers are genetic.
Mhm.
If you have family genetics that are playing an issue, those are things that you have to really kind of focus on. So don't feel discouraged. Don't feel defeated.
And I want to say there's services out there. So don't be like afraid to find out, because once you do find out, it opens up a floodgate for things that we can do about cost. Even though diagnostic testing, a lot of people are like, I'm really afraid of that copay. I'm really afraid of that deductible. Well, there's services and people out there who know that this is a problem, and know that this is something that you deal with.
Right.
Talk and let them know. I always give out every time how to manage those medical bills and they come up. All of those things are available for you when you get there, but you have to go there first, get the
Right.
information, find out that there might be a problem, and then reach out to us. We come to you. Half the time in the hospitals, we'll have all the packet ready for you so you can get all the information that
Yep.
you need. It's a lot less scarier than you think. And when you have and you're near in a really good prime time to get that cancer screening, and it's early and you've been there, your options are so much wider.
Right.
So many things that we can do. There's so many funding for things that you can do. It gets a little bit more trickier when the cancer is really complex, where it has spread, where it might have a less viability. There's certain trials that you might, opt out of or not be able to be eligible for if you wait too long.
If you wait too long.
And so that's when death really occurs. It's really, if you get it early, you tackle it head on, even though it's scary. It's going to be scary at any stage.
Mhm.
And so just go right there in the beginning. Be on top of your screenings, no matter what. Again, even if these do come out and they're cancer screenings, you never want to not go to these,
Right.
because you don't know if this blood test measures everything.
Right.
So even when I
I like
present people, I let them know, still go to these cancer screenings in case there's something we call a false negative, right?
Right.
It says that you don't have cancer, but you do.
Mhm.
You know what would catch it? These
The screening.
tested and proven methods that we've been using for over 80 years. Okay, these will catch those cancers. It's been tested and proven to. It's just cumbersome for someone to go to every single one.
Right.
So we're trying to make sure that for the cancers that they don't have, we can have something that supplements it to make sure that you're getting both. And so,
I'm gonna make sure that I post this,
Yeah.
so that way you can scan that QR on this side. QR code.
call the number.
I'll call the number.
Eligibility criteria for you, which is just those four, or just these three right here. And then we'll sign you up on one of those days and you'll come see me. Don't forget, guys, I'm a trusted person in the community. For you, call me, contact me. If you see me in the community, give me a high five.
Like, I know her.
You know me.
Yeah.
And if you have anything, and you reach out to me, we will always connect you to me. If you want a second opinion, you want to get in contact with a
Absolutely.
physician, anything you're needing help traveling from far away,
Right.
let me know.
Right. Definitely. And there's tons of resources out here. And I do want to say, because we have to jump on to something else. American Cancer Society Advocacy Day is next Tuesday. Oh, well, I say next Tuesday. Well, this coming Tuesday at the Capitol. And so I don't know if you've seen that notice, but if you would like to sign up to be an advocate, to use your voice, I talk about the Health Equity Ambassador Program, which I'm a part of. And so there are so many different ways that where you can share and be able to give back to the community. So it's not just about I'm just gonna keep it to myself. We don't want to gatekeep. I don't believe in that. And so I encourage you to go and sign up with American Cancer Society. They're having a meeting right now that we have to go and jump onto
Yeah.
because we are going to be there at the Capitol, and I say Capitol, but Oklahoma City State Capitol, to advocate for American Cancer Society. And so
Yeah.
we're doing this for you. Yes.
And let me tell you, I'm a American Cancer Society Cancer Action Act Lead, Deputy Act Lead. It is a part of it. You can't just sit here and advocate for you guys and give you guys all the knowledge, and
Right.
the policies don't also reflect that.
That
And so
part.
have a voice, go talk to your legislators, tell them how you feel about cancer screening, and stick up for yourself. It's our only way that we can use our voices. Next week is just one of them. And so join if you can.
Yeah.
It's from 8 to 12. There might be your specific time slot might be small. So even if you can come for a little bit, visit with your lawmakers and head out. We're always appreciative. We will also post that on there. It's not
Yes.
too late to sign up, even though we're having a meeting today. We'll re-educate you on the morning of.
Right. You get more information. Yes. Well, thank you, Valerie. I appreciate you coming on here for Cancer Care Series. Now let me ask my friend if they want to talk about their advocacy day that they're having on Thursday at the Capitol. Would you like to come talk about that? He gave me the big eye. So let me introduce you to my friend. This is the one and only Dominique. And he's going to tell you about his organization and what they're going to do at the Capitol this Thursday.
So, as she said, Dominique is my name. I am a member of Omega South Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, and I currently am the chair of Omega Day at the Capitol. So this coming Thursday, we will be hosting Omega Day at the Capitol. We'll be meeting with different legislators, senators, representatives to talk about change in the community and what policies and procedures affect our community in a negative aspect and how to advocate for our people. One of the primary things we'll be focusing on this Thursday is the school to prison pipeline and how fatherhood and mentorship help transform the minds of our young people and put them in positions to be able to go on and be productive members of society. Being a college educated man, wanting our young people to see other college educated men, giving them a fair chance and opportunity to see that in public. They are able to create the networks. So if they want to do college tours, we have a mentoring program as well called Omega League. I sit on the executive board for that. Just making sure our young people kind of have that space and opportunity to see Black men working, advocating, positive members of society.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Dominique, for coming and giving a little, and I will share their flyer as well. So this is just to remind you that you need to use your voice. There are different laws that are being created in this very atmosphere in your state, wherever that you're located. And so you need to use your voice and set appointments with your lawmakers and tell them, hey, you agree with this or you have a concern about this, but you have to talk. If you don't talk, they don't know. So they don't do whatever that they think they feel is right. And we know that we don't agree with everything. And so we want to make sure that you understand that you have to use your voice as a tool. We know that today, Reverend Jesse Jackson passed away. And so that is one of, from my eyes, in my generation, I should say, one of the pioneers that led the way for a lot of people.
So,
Yes.
I'm also a proud member of Omega South Alpha.
Yes. Thank you for mentioning that part too. And I just want to say that we have to start stepping up. Our pioneers are getting older and we're getting older too. But what are we doing to continue that legacy, continue those steps that we need to do for our community? And so we have a lot of work to do in cancer, education, workforce, housing, in everything in our community, period. We have a lot of work to do. And so I encourage you to step up to the plate. You're not alone. We're all in this together. So thank you, Dominique.
One more thing.
Excuse me.
If you have not voted
Oh.
in a long time, please make sure that your registration is still valid. Go on, check the website. If you have not spoken with your representative in a while, when you go to speak with them, if you have not voted within the last 3 to 5 years, they will not listen to what you have to say. So advocacy starts with going to the polls, voting first. And then when you step in there, they know that you have a voice because you've exercised your right to do your part. So if they see that you have a network of people that you can connect with, then their jobs are always at stake because you are a voting individual in the community and your voice matters and people hear you if they see you at the polls. So do your part. When you do your part, you can make a difference, and that impacts everybody around you, from the city to the state to the nation at large. So,
Wow.
yeah.
I like, thank you for throwing that in there. Because we got some things we're trying to work on with this voter education part, because your voting rights are changing. That's a whole nother
And
segment.
redlining, we're gonna talk about that.
We're not
It'll be a
gonna
whole
talk
nother hour.
That a whole nother hour. Yes, so we gotta go. But thank you for coming on Share the Tea Tuesdays. Y'all know where to follow me at Share the Tea with V. I'm on all social media except for the snap of the chat. Remember, we are sharing the tea because we don't spill it. And I'll see you next time. Y'all be blessed. Bye.
Have a good one.
Telling me to dance, taking a chance.